Ah, rice, the quiet overachiever of Asian cuisine. People often underestimate it because it looks so plain, so unassuming, just sitting there in a bowl. But that's the trick. Rice doesn't need to shout like a crusty French baguette or show off like an Italian plate of gnocchi drowning in cheese. Rice is the dependable friend who shows up to every meal, never complains, never steals the spotlight, yet somehow makes everything else taste better. Imagine if bread were a person, it would probably brag about its crust and gluten structure. Potatoes would be that heavy guy who insists on smothering himself in butter. But rice? Rice just smiles, says nothing, and then fuels half the planet without breaking a sweat. One of rice's biggest advantages over Europe's starchy staples is its gluten-free nature. Europeans have spent the past couple of decades spiraling into a gluten-free craze. Labels everywhere screaming, "No gluten," as if gluten were Voldemort. Supermarkets are filled with gluten-free breads, pastas, and cookies, often more expensive and less tasty than their originals. Meanwhile, Asians are quietly over here saying, we've been eating gluten-free rice 3 times a day for thousands of years, and we didn't need a food trend to tell us it was cool. That's the funny part. Europe discovered gluten intolerance, while Asia was already living in a gluten-free paradise. Digestibility is another win. Have you ever noticed that after a big pasta dinner, you need a nap so badly you start questioning your life choices? Or after a heavy potato casserole, you feel like you've swallowed a sack of cement? Rice doesn't do that. It slides down politely, digests smoothly, and gives you steady energy without making you feel like you're stuck under a blanket of carbs. Rice is the polite guest at your stomach's party. It arrives on time, doesn't make a mess, and leaves quietly after doing its job. European wheat sometimes feels more like that one guest who overstays their welcome and keeps you awake at night. Let's talk versatility, because rice is a master of disguises. Europeans have bread, potatoes, and pasta, sure, but rice can be fluffy, sticky, fried, soupy, noodly, or even turned into vinegar, flour, or desserts. It's a shapeshifter. One minute it's a delicate bowl of Japanese sushi rice, the next it's a fiery Indonesian nasi goreng, and later it's comforting Indian kheer for dessert. Europe has rice pudding, yes, but usually it looks like someone spilled porridge in a bowl and gave up halfway. Asia, on the other hand, makes rice into colorful cakes, sweet sticky rolls, even crispy rice crackers. It's like rice went to acting school and came back able to play every role in the movie. Energy-wise, rice is lean and efficient. Farmers in Asia have worked in fields for centuries fueled mainly by a bowl or two of rice. Imagine trying to plow a rice paddy after eating a huge plate of creamy scalloped potatoes. You'd probably fall asleep in the mud before finishing a single row. Rice is lightweight fuel. It doesn't make you sluggish, it makes you ready. It's like comparing an electric scooter to a diesel truck. Both move you forward, but only one does it smoothly, without the exhaust fumes. Then there's the cultural side, which is where rice really shows off. In Asia, rice isn't just food, it's life. Families revolve around it, languages are filled with it, and even rituals honor it. People literally greet each other with variations of, "Have you eaten rice yet?" That's like asking, "Are you okay? Are you alive?" It's not small talk, it's soul talk. In Europe, if you asked, "Have you eaten potatoes today?" people would probably just look confused and wonder why you're obsessed with their diet. Rice has achieved cultural celebrity status that bread and potatoes just can't match. And here's a funny twist. Europeans love to romanticize their carbs. They'll write poetry about golden loaves, stage festivals around potatoes, and photograph pasta like it's haute couture. But rice? Rice doesn't need poetry. It feeds you, keeps you healthy, and sticks by your side like family. It's humble but mighty. It doesn't shout, "I am artisanal," or "Look at my sourdough starter." It just quietly sustains civilizations for millennia. And honestly, that's the most impressive flex of all. So while Europe continues its carb-heavy love affair with crusty breads, buttery pastries, and starchy potatoes, Asia glides smoothly on rice, lighter, gentler, gluten-free, and infinitely adaptable. It's the food that never leaves you feeling guilty, bloated, or betrayed. It doesn't need to be trendy or artisanal to stay relevant. And maybe that's the real lesson. Sometimes the most powerful foods are the simplest, the ones that don't brag but simply show up, meal after meal, generation after generation. Rice may not have the glamour of a croissant or the fluff of a potato souffle, but in the end, it's the quiet hero keeping billions of people alive, energized, and ready for karaoke at midnight.